Okay, well, thank you for coming to my channel today. If you are new here, please subscribe. I'm Patience, and my channel is called Amazing Liberia because I just moved to Liberia February 2021. And some of the things I did in order to make my trip possible, I'm just going to discuss some of those things. And so in case you are contemplating making the move, some of the things you need to consider. So this list is my first time doing a how-to list, so I can guarantee you it's not going to be thorough. It's just a starting point. I plan on improving on this video several times. So, how to move from the USA to LIB. So, some of the things I did. First thing is banking. Get your finances straightened out because you don't want to get stranded. Liberia is not as modern as the US. So make sure you understand how you're going to move money from a US account to you in Liberia. So when you're looking for a bank in America, make sure you do one that either lets you take a picture of a check or does a lot of online banking. You want a bank that will allow you to be online and wire money from your US account to your Liberia account. So one of the first things I did in Liberia was I set up a bank account in Liberia. Promo for IB Bank. Prefer them after doing my research. And they have online banking. So while I was in America, I could actually access my Liberian account. So get a local Liberian bank that while you're in Liberia can allow you to be able to do online banking. They do that for a fee. Usually it's $5 US for a monthly fee. Then you also, your US bank account has to be mostly wireless, allows you to do money wiring without going in person. That was one thing I was surprised at. Most of the bank in the States wants you to walk through the door in order to do wire internationally. So one of the bank that I used after doing a couple of research that was very strict and cost very minimal to do international wiring was Charles Schwab. Charles Schwab allows you to do international wiring for $15. You have other banks that allow you to do it for $45, and credit unions usually will range between $75 to $60 US for a wire transfer, and they want you to do it in person, walk into the store. So make sure you can try a couple of wires before you come over, and so that you can link your accounts to be able to wire from yourself over there. Another thing you have to do while you're in the States is to download your SendWave, because SendWave app works great. You attach your SendWave app to one of your cards, and you can just SendWave yourself, because once you come to Liberia, you get a local number, and you, I would say, Lone Star number seems to be one of the, they're more advanced than Orange Money. Orange Money is just starting up, but Lone Star is a little bit more advanced. So you want a Lone Star number, and you will be literally sitting in your house in Liberia, and you can SendWave yourself $50 if you have it, SendWave yourself money. And it is easy because it comes straight to your phone compared to using MoneyGram or Western Union, where you have to go to the bank. And as I said, the banks in Liberia are not modern. It's an all-day event. Yeah. So if you can SendWave yourself, which will bring it to your mobile money account, and you can go to vendors to cash it out. Sometimes it might be a little bit too much. One vendor won't be able to cash it out. You might have to go to multiple vendors. Aloysius and myself, last time we had to do about 2 to 3 vendors, and you also have to get to know the local vendors. Some of them will, even though Sunwave is supposed to be 100% in US dollars, they will try to bargain with you to say, okay, I can give you 150, for example, if you're sending 200, I can give you 150 in US and then the 50 in LD, Liberian dollars. Even with that bargain with the vendor, it's still way better than MoneyGram or Western Union. Western Union MoneyGram insists on taking 25% of your money and turning it into Liberian dollars, plus their fee is a little bit more expensive than Sendwave is, and plus they're very, very inconvenient. So I use an online banking in the US and local banking in Liberia, and I also have a MTN number, which is my Lone Star number for Money Mobile. And I also download Sendwave. But you can use MoneyGram if you want it. You can pay the fee. You can stay online. But so far I find that works for me if I have to cash there. Hey, that's another video. Okay, so after you get your finances straightened out, your living condition. What are you gonna do? Are you gonna buy it before you come? Are you gonna rent? Usually for renting in Liberia, it's usually, Aloysius, please correct me. Aloysius is behind the camera for this video. Please correct me if I'm wrong. Usually renting is 6 months. You have to put your rent down for 6 months to a year, correct?
Sure.
Yeah, so you have to do a whole deposit for 6 months to a year. So find a place before you come, because you can't be mushy on your relatives that long. Besides, it's expensive because you come from America, they think you're bringing a bag of cash. So if you're at a relative place, guess who's providing the meal for the whole family as long as you're there? Yes, it will be you. So it's really convenient to kind of figure out your living condition before you come over. If you are if you're sending things, let's talk about shipping. I ended up shipping my car, my minivan, because I do have about 4 kids on boarding school, gotta move them around. And then we have a farm going, so we need a pickup, so I send those. And technically, I can tell you, if it was just that, it was just me and my kids, the things that I put in the van and the pickup would have been enough, but I've got the project going with the village, so I have to send things. So I did send a couple of drums first, and before the pickup in the minivan. Furnitures, you really don't need to ship furniture from the US to Liberia. You can actually find some really good furniture maker locally and have them make things to your specification. A lot of things are custom made here. Like generally you can go to a tailor and take a style and a tailor will sew it for you. So a lot of things are custom made. So furniture, you don't really need to send that. One thing you need to think about is car is important. Now, let's go back to cars. Pickup, yes, you can send a pickup, but let me tell you, it was very expensive importing a minivan to Liberia. It cost, the taxes on that van cost almost as much as the cost of the van. It was close to $3,000 to get a 2000, I don't remember the year of my minivan, Toyota Sienna into Liberia. Yeah, almost $3,000. It was very, very expensive. The pickup is not so bad because it's more considered a farming car, whereas I don't know, just too much to input. They do have local dealer. There is a local dealership that is somewhere between Hakata in Monrovia. And he seems to have some not so bad cars. Maybe one of these days when we're going to see the kids, we'll stop and do a video with him. But even to my brother and my sister, I recommend them, hey, if you can go Guinea and purchase a car, I mean, it's cheaper because importing a car is expensive in Liberia. We talk about furniture. Okay, so then once you're here, we talk about electricity. Electricity is a big thing. So you have to decide if you're owning and you have a place, maybe you can send your solar systems ahead of time. There is local electricity, LEC, and currently the World Bank has a project they're doing here. What is that project called? Just so you know. Oh, a mango just fell. Yeah, so it's a project that's been done by the World Bank, and they're really trying to electrify Liberia a lot. So you have the electricity, but the consistency of the electricity varies. And talking about the electricity and all your electrical things that you're bringing, be aware of the voltage change. You will need a stabilizer because things in the US are 110, right? And in Liberia, they're 220 voltage, right? So be aware because you'll blow up your things. Luckily, the computers, the laptops can adjust between 110 and 220 automatically, so you don't have to worry about your laptops. So yeah, but electricity is a real issue, and solar is one way to get electricity. Is one way to get electricity. The local vendors, LEC is another way, and generator. You can have a generator, but for me, trying to live organically and sustainable, generator is not my first choice. However, that's our backup currently until we get our solar established. What else we doing? Where you're gonna live in Monrovia is up to you. Suburbia versus the city limits. If you're renting in the city limits, you can get everywhere easily, but it's very, very costly. I mean, some of those places are $1,000 plus for one bedroom. Yeah, I'm cheap. I live in the suburb. That's why I got the car. I go to the city maybe once or twice a week if there is nothing personal happening that requires me to be there all the time. Because driving is also a challenge. I mean, it's a challenge. There are cars coming at you, motorbikes coming at you, KK, PP, tricycle, I don't know what they call it, coming at you, plus people. So it's a challenge. I remember the first week I was driving, my foot was hurting just from hitting the brakes this frequently. LIV, let it roll, we're doing fine. But if you can just take your piece and drive slowly, don't honk because it doesn't matter. No one's giving you way. And if you're trying to get in traffic, I love to call it engage. You have to engage. No one's gonna stop and let you on. You have to keep slowly edging into traffic, and then someone will say, okay. When you're almost halfway on, then they'll say, okay, you can get in front of me. But if you just sit there and put your signal, honey, you'll be waiting for quite a while. So yeah, so driving in Liberia is another issue too. So yeah, take your location. If you don't want to drive, live somewhere where you can easily get on, get a taxi or tricycle. And if you're brave enough, you can get on motorcycle too, but you do those at your own risk because there's no certification for motorcycle drivers. What else can we talk about? So that's cover moving around Monrovia as well as where you're gonna live. Phone, internet service, mobile money. We talked a little bit about mobile money already. There's Orange Money as well as Lone Star Money. Lone Star Money seems to be more exposed because they've been doing it longer, and Orange Money is the new kid on the block. And mobile money is what is linked to your SendWave account. The Orange Money is not linked to your Sendwave account. So therefore, you need to get mobile money, Lone Star mobile money, right? Internet, oh my God, I'm still figuring it out. Right now, I'm actually losing off Aloysius data, or he give me data somehow. But yeah, it's expensive. They got these things they call scratch cards. And this is for everybody in Liberia has two numbers. They have their Lone Star because the two means of telecommunication or internet is the Orange as well and Lone Star. Okay, so Orange has scratch card and Lone Star has scratch cards also. So then you buy these scratch cards. They cost $1 US a day. Per scratch card. To use local internet calling services, you just need $1. To use internet services, you need $2 US. So then they have all these activation code. Oh my God, I do carry a notebook that will be a video within itself. I don't know how they expect you to know #124 pound, okay, will give you what is left. They have all these numbers and all these things that they expect you to learn. And they steal your data and they steal your money. Yeah, they'll tell you your 10 minutes, you use $1 and they say you got 10 minutes and they'll put a day on it, or so if you don't use it until tomorrow because you didn't activate it for 3 days, your 10 minutes could be up in 24 hours even though you didn't use all 10. I paid for 10 minutes, Orange. Let me have my 10 minutes whenever, however I paid for it. And same for the data too. So yeah, one of the reasons why Liberia is a little backward is because these people keep stealing your money. And the average income of a low working Liberian person is about $2 US a day. And I spend my whole income for the day to buy a scratch card. And you're stealing my data and stealing my minutes because you're telling me it's expired. I didn't use it in your time. Okay, that's enough of that, man. This is another internet access point. How do they call this thing? Hotspot. You can put a SIM in it and you can activate it with data, and then you can have multiple people use it. So I love this because it's portable, as well as you can also use your phone. So on my phone that we're doing the recording with, whenever I have data on it, we can all log on it. Luscious can be logged on it. I can log on it on my laptop. And so that's how you get internet, but I can tell you it's very, very, very frustrating. Internet access in Liberia is frustrating, and it's not made easy by the services, by the people providing the service. It's more about how we can get your little $1 as much as possible. Then another video I will make at another time will be also how to handle medical emergency. I'm still setting up my medical plan, but I had an emergency with my sister, and looking at the system, how to is definitely important if you need to be flown out of here, because there is the logistics around Liberia is a little off. So you have to be able to plan everything and have all your steps in place, because it's just not organized. Security, like your personal security. For me, personally, I'm not flashy. If I don't talk a lot of the time, other than my hair looking different, people don't even notice me. But if you're flashy and it's just your personality to be flashy, then yes, do think about some form of security. I know for our company, we've had about 3 or 4 different security firms that stop by and to offer services. So depending on where you're living and your lifestyle, you can have personal security. I'm too much of a preschool. The local people know what I mean. I mean, so cheap. Okay, so what else we're going to talk about in this video? We're going to talk about income and while you're here. So you can work online, and one of the things I played with was what I wanted to do with teaching online. But my primary objective of being in returning to Liberia is to do farming and do business and take the profit from that and put it back into community projects. So that's my primary reason for being here, and I do find that because I'm at the beginning stages of those things, I need to concentrate on them 100%, or otherwise I will not be able to finish any project. So I opted not to do anything online yet. Just gonna be poor. But whatever you do, either have an online job or have some other side hustle, but do not depend on coming into Liberia and then finding a job. Liberia is not a location where you go job hunting based on your qualification. It's basically about who know you. And then number two, you don't want to, the local job market is already saturated. You don't want to add onto that problem. So you want to be a job creator versus a competitor to the local people who paid all their parents have worked hard and paid all their money for them to get a degree, and then you come in with your CVs and take the job, So be a job creator. If you travel the world, come back with ideas to create a job for one or two people versus looking for a job. So with that, I know I've ran around a little bit. I might need to do a video for school for those people who have kids and they're looking for school. I might have to do a little bit more research on the different schools around here. Right now, my 4 kids are on a boarding school, Conala boarding school. Thank God for boarding school. 4 teenagers. Yep. So I probably would do a video for the medical plan as well as for schools. But as long as you have a means of getting around Liberia is beautiful. I mean, live simple, you can do that here. Live high end, even if you had a driver, if you have a cook, if you employ other people for other little things, it's not much at all. We do have a cook that comes by. At first I started cooking, and then I guess everybody did not. My food was a little off. So now we have someone who comes in 3 days a week and cook for us. And we do it every other day, and it works fine. So when she cooks, the meal goes for 2 days. She cooks enough to cover 2 days, and that is very, very convenient for us. So that's where we are right now in the move, and I'm still trying to set up the farm and other business here in Liberia. So I'll keep you posted as we go. So thank you for coming along, for watching this video. If you like what I do here, it's just my hobby and information sometimes. Please do like the video and then subscribe to my channel. Other than that, you have a nice day.